Enter the realm of limitless potential. Transform your life through occult power. Introduction. Uncovering the occult path to limitless potential. Within each of us lies an untouched expanse, a realm of potential unconfined by the restrictions of the physical world and untouched by the habits of daily thought. This potential exists not only as an abstract possibility but as an active force, lying dormant yet ever watchful within the layers of our consciousness. Throughout the ages, mystics and seekers from various traditions, Hermeticism, Gnosticism, Rosicrucianism, and others, have sought to reveal this inner power, asserting that true mastery of life stems from a profound understanding of our own inner landscape. They have whispered that the keys to transformation are found not in the outward journey but in a journey inward, to reclaim the power within. In this journey, we encounter mysteries as old as the cosmos, truths so subtle they evade the casual observer, yet they have the power to reshape our reality once grasped. This book is an invitation to enter that sacred inner space, guided by ancient wisdom, to explore the boundless realms of possibility that await within. In ancient times, scholars of the mystical arts were keenly aware of the limitations imposed by ordinary perception. The Hermetic principle of as above, so below serves as a reminder that the universe is reflected within each of us. Our consciousness is a mirror of universal forces and divine intelligence. By delving into the hidden chambers of the self, we begin to align our inner reality with cosmic order. This inner alignment brings about a transformation, not only of the self but of the entire world as we perceive it. Our sense of limitation begins to dissolve, replaced by a fluidity that allows for greater movement and expression. The sages of old understood that to unlock this limitless potential, one must pierce through the veil of illusion, leaving behind the confines of ordinary thought to access realms of insight and power that lie beyond. In these pages, we follow this same quest, an ancient and sacred path leading us to the mysteries that shape our destiny. To embark on this journey is to awaken to a profound shift in understanding, a realization that the limits we experience are self-imposed, products of conditioned beliefs and inherited thoughts. The wise ones spoke of the great forgetting, a spiritual amnesia where we lose sight of our true nature and potential. By reconnecting with forgotten truths, we reclaim our divine inheritance as conscious creators, stepping out of the shadow of limitation and into the light of boundless capacity. Here, in this introduction, lies the first step, a shift in perspective that loosens the grip of ordinary perception. With an open mind, we step beyond the limits of what we have known, suspending disbelief and inviting in the possibility of transformation. Each page serves as a guidepost, illuminating the path to reclaiming this hidden power and realizing a life of fulfillment and clarity. Central to this journey is the cultivation of an inner vision, a way of seeing that penetrates beyond surface appearances to grasp the essence of things. The power of inner vision has been spoken of in various traditions as the third eye, or the eye of the heart. Through this inner eye, we perceive not merely the forms of the world but their inner realities, their energetic structures, and their connections to the greater whole. By developing this sacred sight, we begin to dismantle the structures of limitation within ourselves. Boundaries soften, giving way to fluidity, as we recognize the interconnectedness of all things. Our potential, once hidden behind walls of doubt and fear, comes into view, revealing itself as the source of our greatest strength. This is the journey of awakening, where we step into life with clarity, wisdom, and the unyielding power of our limitless self. The aim of this book is to offer a blueprint for this awakening, drawing from the insights of those who have walked this path before us. In each chapter, we will explore the principles of personal power, creativity, and spiritual mastery, as understood by the ancient mystics. We will seek not only to understand but to embody these teachings, allowing them to transform us from the inside out. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to confront the limitations within us. Yet, as we journey deeper, we find that these limits are nothing more than illusions, dissolving in the light of our expanded awareness. Let us now begin, stepping forward into the sacred unknown, where our true potential awaits us. The path of transformation stretches before us, rich with mystery and purpose, calling us to awaken to the divine power within. Before we dive into this transformative audiobook, hit like and subscribe if you're ready to learn something truly powerful. Your support helps bring more audiobooks like this to the channel. Thanks for being with us. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Transformation, Understanding the Occult Mindset. In the ancient scrolls and teachings passed down by mystics and sages, the foundation of transformation is always built upon the mind's landscape. Reality, they taught, is not a fixed entity. Rather, it is a projection of our own internal state. This principle, which resonates across mystical traditions like Hermeticism and Gnosticism, reveals that what we perceive as the outer world is a reflection of the world within. To understand this concept is to step into a realm where thought, belief, and perception actively shape experience. Imagine, then, that reality is like a mirror. The reflections we see are nothing more than expressions of our inner consciousness. If we seek to change our outer circumstances, we must first turn inward, observing and transforming the terrain of our mind. This is the first law of personal transformation, a truth that has the potential to reshape our lives if we dare to wield it. The ancient Hermetic axiom, "all is mind," encapsulates this understanding, declaring that the universe itself is a mental construct, an expansive thought emanating from the divine. Our individual minds are thus extensions of this cosmic mind, holding within them the power to create and to transform. With each thought, each belief, we carve out pathways in our consciousness, setting in motion the forces that shape our reality. This is why the sages viewed the mind as an alchemical vessel, a crucible where elements of the psyche could be transformed and refined. In this mental alchemy, ordinary thoughts become the seeds of divine creation, allowing us to shift from a passive existence to an empowered, intentional way of being. Understanding this reveals a profound truth. The mind is not merely a receiver of experiences. It is the origin of all that we perceive. Yet, to approach life with this mindset requires a willingness to challenge our most deeply held assumptions about reality. Many of the limitations we encounter are self-imposed, remnants of conditioned beliefs instilled by society, culture, or personal experiences. These beliefs form the invisible walls that confine us, shaping our identity and defining what we believe is possible. The mystics taught that these limits are illusions, products of the great forgetting, the loss of our awareness of our true nature. In this chapter, we are invited to question these limitations, to peel back the layers of conditioning and see the boundless potential beneath. Just as alchemists transform base metals into gold, we, too, can transmute restrictive thoughts into a framework that supports our highest self. This is the essence of inner transformation, the recognition that our mental constructs are not fixed but malleable, capable of change through conscious intention. Integral to this shift in perception is the cultivation of a heightened sense of self-awareness. In the teachings of Gnosticism and Rosicrucianism, self-awareness is seen as the inner light, a beacon that illuminates the shadows within. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we become aware of the patterns that govern our lives, the subconscious programs that dictate our reactions and responses. In this sacred act of self-observation, we reclaim our authority over the mind, stepping out of the role of passive recipient and into the role of active creator. This inner awareness is like a compass, guiding us as we navigate the depths of our psyche, uncovering both the treasures and the limitations hidden within. As we gain clarity over our mental landscape, we begin to understand that each thought, each emotion, is a choice, a point of creation that either aligns us with our true potential or holds us back. The journey of understanding the occult mindset is one of profound self-discovery, a process of realigning with the original blueprint of our soul. The mystics spoke of this as a return to the center, a reunion with the core self that exists beyond labels, beyond social conditioning, and beyond fear. This inner center is the wellspring of our power, the place from which all genuine transformation flows. When we approach life from this center, we see that limits are not external obstacles but opportunities for growth and expansion. With each step deeper into this awareness, we cultivate a mindset that is not only open to change but actively seeks it, understanding that the evolution of the mind is the key to unlocking the vast, limitless potential that lies within us. This is the foundation of transformation, the beginning of a journey that leads us into the heart of our true power. Chapter 2: The Law of Mentalism, the Power of Thought in Creation. The Hermetic principle of mentalism, often summarized as all is mind, is one of the cornerstones of ancient wisdom and spiritual understanding. It suggests that the universe, in its entirety, is a mental construct, a boundless thought emanating from the divine mind. Within this vast cosmic framework, our own thoughts are the microcosmic reflections of that universal thought, each thought form serving as a seed in the garden of our reality. To understand this principle is to recognize that each individual holds within them the ability to shape their experience through the power of focused thought. This notion transforms our perception of thought from a simple mental activity into an act of creation, where every belief, every vision, and every intention carries the potential to shape the fabric of our lives. Imagination, therefore, is not merely a tool for daydreams but a sacred faculty through which reality itself is envisioned and manifested. In Rosicrucian teachings, imagination is often described as the divine spark, a capability bestowed upon us to mirror the creativity of the universe. This divine spark empowers us to become co-creators with the cosmos, aligning our individual intentions with the greater flow of existence. Each act of imagination, when guided by clear intent and unwavering focus, becomes a blueprint for reality, laying the groundwork for what is to come. In this sense, the mind is like a painter's canvas, where every thought is a brushstroke that adds depth, color, and dimension to the evolving masterpiece of our life. The more vividly we imagine, the more potent our creation, for it is through this vividness that we impress the mental template upon the etheric substance of the universe. Yet, harnessing the power of thought requires a deliberate focus, an ability to distinguish between the countless fleeting thoughts that pass through our minds and those that carry the potential to manifest. Hermetic teachings advise practitioners to cultivate mental discipline, recognizing that the mind, when unrestrained, can act as both ally and adversary in the process of creation. Like an untrained fire, it can scatter and dissipate energy, diluting the strength of intent and rendering it ineffective. But when harnessed and refined, thought becomes a formidable force, concentrated and directed toward a chosen outcome. This is the essence of mentalism, the disciplined use of thought as a tool for intentional creation. To achieve this level of mastery requires not only a focused mind but a purified heart, one aligned with the higher ideals of truth, beauty, and harmony. The mystical traditions emphasize that our habitual thoughts, the patterns of belief and the narratives we tell ourselves, act as the fundamental building blocks of our reality. If we believe ourselves to be limited, then limitation becomes the structure of our experience. If we believe in boundless potential, then possibilities expand before us. This is the great paradox of the law of mentalism, that each thought acts as both a creator and a boundary, defining what is possible within the realm of the thinker's perception. By examining and consciously choosing our thoughts, we unlock the power to redefine these boundaries, moving beyond the self-imposed limitations that often restrict us. Through mindful reflection, we can uproot the beliefs that no longer serve us, replacing them with those that align with our vision of growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, the law of mentalism invites us to view thought as an act of sacred creation, a process through which we align with the divine creative force that permeates all existence. Each thought, each mental impression, is a prayer sent out into the fabric of reality, a command that shapes and molds the substance of our lives. When we approach thought with this reverence, we begin to perceive the profound responsibility that comes with mental creation. For in each thought lies the seed of our future, a glimpse into what we are in the process of becoming. This understanding transforms the mind from a chaotic realm of scattered impressions into a sanctuary of intentionality, where every thought is chosen with care, every belief aligned with our highest purpose. Through this conscious approach, we become the architects of our destiny, wielding the power of the mind not just to survive but to thrive, crafting a life imbued with meaning and radiant with the potential of our deepest aspirations. Chapter 3: Beyond Limitation, Transcending Societal Conditioning. In every era, individuals are born into a matrix of beliefs and values that define what is acceptable, possible, and even real. These frameworks, while meant to establish a shared understanding of the world, often act as invisible barriers, hemming in potential and blurring personal truth. In Gnostic teachings, this entrapment by societal conditioning is seen as an illusion, or cosmic sleep, in which humanity forgets its divine origins and true power. To awaken from this dream is to step beyond these constructed boundaries, liberating oneself from the narratives of limitation that subtly pervade everyday life. Recognizing these structures as constructs of the collective mind is the first step in transcending them, for one cannot break free from chains that they do not see. The esoteric path teaches that our beliefs, especially those absorbed from the outer world, are not inherent truths but filters that color our perception. Much of what we consider normal or expected is simply the result of external conditioning, the thoughts and beliefs passed down from family, culture, and society at large. These concepts form a kind of psychic architecture, creating an invisible framework that shapes every action, thought, and desire. Rosicrucian wisdom calls this the mask of consensus, a veil that obscures the true essence of the individual. The journey to inner freedom, then, involves peeling away these layers, examining each belief to determine whether it reflects our authentic self or the influence of an external force. This process requires courage, for in doing so, we inevitably confront our attachment to familiar ideas and the comfort they provide. Breaking free from these influences is an act of reclamation, a return to the sovereignty of the self. Through this reclamation, the seeker becomes the sole architect of their reality, unshackled from the beliefs of others and guided only by inner truth. This does not mean rejecting the world or isolating oneself from society. Rather, it entails viewing societal norms and expectations through the lens of discernment, choosing consciously what to accept and what to leave behind. Like an alchemist refining metals, the seeker sifts through inherited beliefs, separating the true gold from the dross of limitation. As each layer of external conditioning is shed, the mind becomes a blank slate, receptive to the limitless potential that lies within and beyond. This refined state is one of spiritual freedom, where action flows not from compulsion or conformity but from the quiet voice of inner wisdom. Freedom from external conditioning also liberates the will, allowing it to operate from a place of authentic power. In the traditional sense, the will is often seen as a force used to impose one's desires upon the world. However, in esoteric philosophy, true will is aligned with the higher self and flows naturally when the mind is free of imposed limitations. This will is not a struggle against life but a harmonious alignment with one's purpose, where action emerges effortlessly from a place of clarity. To cultivate this inner will, one must first reclaim their mental sovereignty, for it is only when the mind is free of external influence that the will can act in true alignment with the soul. In this state, Every action is imbued with the power of authenticity, a force that commands respect and inspires transformation in oneself and others. The path of transcendence is a lifelong journey, one in which the seeker continually refines their inner world, discarding beliefs and values that no longer resonate with their highest self. This journey is not linear but cyclical, as each new layer of awareness brings forth another set of insights and challenges. Yet with each cycle, the seeker gains a deeper sense of liberation, a closer connection to their essence. Ultimately, the freedom that emerges from transcending societal conditioning is a return to one's original nature, a state of purity where the mind, heart, and will act in harmony. In this state, the individual stands not as a product of their environment but as a conscious co-creator with the universe, capable of manifesting a reality that reflects the limitless potential of their true self. Chapter 4. Spiritual Will and Inner Authority. In the realm of personal transformation, few forces are as potent as the will. It is the invisible current that moves mountains, shapes destinies, and carves pathways through the mysteries of the mind and spirit. In esoteric teachings, the will is not merely a tool for accomplishing goals but a divine faculty, an inner flame that lights the path toward higher consciousness. Unlike mere desire, which is often impulsive and fleeting, the spiritual will is steady, deliberate, and aligned with the soul's deeper calling. When harnessed, this sacred power becomes the foundation of inner authority, the inner strength that transcends both external influences and self-doubt. In many mystical traditions, the will is revered as a conduit to the divine, a way to align oneself with universal law and purpose. The journey toward spiritual will begins with an understanding of its true nature and distinction from the ego-driven impulses of the everyday self. In the teachings of Gnosticism and Hermeticism, the will is seen as a bridge between the mortal and the divine, a mechanism through which the soul can exert its influence upon the world of form. However, unlike the often rigid demands of the ego, which seeks control for its own sake, the spiritual will flows from a deeper place of intention and alignment. It seeks not domination but harmonization with the self and the universe, guiding one toward the fulfillment of their higher purpose. To cultivate this force, one must first quiet the chatter of the mind, shedding the desires and distractions that stem from fear, insecurity, or attachment. Only then does the authentic will, that quiet yet powerful inner authority, begin to emerge. One of the core teachings in the Rosicrucian path is the cultivation of what they call inner sovereignty, the mastery over one's thoughts, emotions, and desires, so they align with the soul's purpose. This form of sovereignty is not a withdrawal from life's challenges but rather a deep engagement with them through a lens of wisdom and strength. It entails setting clear intentions, directing one's energies toward them, and maintaining focus even when faced with obstacles or doubt. In this practice, the will becomes more than a faculty of the mind. It is an embodiment of spiritual integrity, a force that remains unyielding to external influences while adapting to the ebb and flow of life's currents. With inner sovereignty, the individual no longer feels compelled to seek validation or guidance outside themselves but instead finds strength in the quiet authority that arises from self-knowledge and alignment with higher truths. When one possesses inner authority, they embody a subtle yet profound power that others recognize instinctively. This power is not one of force or control but of presence and authenticity. In the Hermetic tradition, it is said that, as within, so without, the state of one's inner world will inevitably shape the outer reality. Thus, a person rooted in spiritual will naturally attracts situations, people, and opportunities that align with their higher path. This does not mean that life becomes free of challenges but that the challenges themselves transform into opportunities for growth and expression of the will. With each obstacle met and overcome, the will grows stronger, more refined, and more attuned to the soul's calling. In this way, life itself becomes an alchemical process, where every experience, whether joyful or difficult, serves to hone the will and deepen one's connection to their inner authority. The mastery of spiritual will requires a continual balancing of focus, discernment, and surrender. Focus provides the clarity to direct one's energies without wavering. Discernment ensures that each action aligns with the soul's purpose, and surrender allows the individual to release attachment to outcomes, trusting that their path will unfold in perfect timing. This triad forms the essence of inner authority, empowering the individual to navigate life with both confidence and humility. Unlike the rigidity of egoic will, which seeks to control outcomes, spiritual will operates from a place of trust, understanding that true power lies in the alignment with universal forces rather than in opposition to them. Through this practice, the seeker becomes a conscious participant in the unfolding of their destiny, exercising their will not as a weapon but as a tool for creation, healing, and self-discovery. Ultimately, the cultivation of spiritual will and inner authority leads to a state of personal freedom and empowerment. Freed from the constraints of doubt, fear, and external validation, the individual stands in the fullness of their power, able to shape their reality with clarity and purpose. This journey is one of continual refinement, a process of shedding the layers of conditioning and false beliefs that obscure the true self. Each step taken in alignment with the spiritual will brings one closer to the realization of their divine potential, allowing them to move through life with a sense of purpose, resilience, and joy. For in discovering the will within, one finds the key to their own liberation, an inner compass that guides them toward a life of limitless possibility and profound fulfillment. Chapter 5. Uncovering the Power of Symbols and Archetypes. Symbols and archetypes are more than mere cultural artifacts or visual representations. They are the language of the soul, a means through which the deepest aspects of our consciousness communicate with us. From the alchemical symbols that adorned ancient texts to the sacred geometry found in nature, symbols carry an inherent potency, a vibration that resonates beyond the rational mind and touches something eternal within. To the mystic, symbols are alive. They embody truths that cannot be fully articulated but can be felt and understood on a level deeper than words. In the esoteric traditions of Hermeticism and Rosicrucianism, symbols are revered as gateways to higher realms of understanding, each one a key to unlocking a unique aspect of the self and the universe. One of the most profound aspects of symbols is their connection to universal archetypes, the fundamental patterns of human experience that reside within the collective unconscious. Jungian psychology identifies archetypes such as the hero, the sage, and the seeker as intrinsic structures within the psyche, patterns that shape our perceptions, desires, and fears. These archetypes exist in the background of our minds, influencing our thoughts and actions, often without our conscious awareness. In mysticism, these archetypes are not just psychological phenomena but spiritual guides, each one a reflection of divine principles manifesting in the human experience. When we consciously engage with these archetypes, we step into a dialogue with the deepest layers of our own being, illuminating hidden desires, talents, and fears. The archetype of the magician, for example, represents the mastery of will and knowledge, the ability to transform reality through inner power. In esoteric teachings, the magician embodies both the alchemist and the sage, one who can mold the elements of thought, emotion, and energy into new forms. To connect with the magician archetype is to awaken one's own potential for transformation and creation, to realize that the power to change one's reality lies within. By visualizing and meditating on symbols like the magician's wand or the philosopher's stone, the seeker taps into the energy of this archetype, aligning with its qualities and allowing them to take root in their consciousness. This alignment is not merely an intellectual exercise but a lived experience, a process of embodying the wisdom, discipline, and creative power that the archetype represents. Another significant archetype is the seeker, a figure that represents the eternal quest for truth, wisdom, and self-understanding. The seeker appears across various mystical traditions as the pilgrim, the wanderer, or the initiate, one who embarks on a journey into the unknown in search of enlightenment. To engage with the seeker archetype is to embrace a state of openness and curiosity, a willingness to look beyond the surface and question what is often taken for granted. The seeker's path is one of self-discovery, a journey that requires courage, humility, and resilience. Symbols associated with the seeker, such as the lantern, the compass, or the sacred scroll, serve as reminders of the light within and the guidance that the inner self provides on the journey. These symbols resonate with those who feel drawn to explore the depths of their own consciousness and the mysteries of existence. Archetypes and symbols also serve as mirrors, reflecting back to us the qualities we have yet to fully acknowledge or integrate within ourselves. They challenge us to recognize our shadow aspects, the unclaimed parts of our psyche that hold both untapped potential and unresolved fears. The archetype of the shadow, for instance, confronts us with our limitations, insecurities, and the hidden aspects we may prefer to ignore. Yet, it is through facing the shadow that we reclaim our wholeness, transforming what once seemed dark or fearful into a source of strength and insight. In Rosicrucian teachings, this process is known as the descent into the underworld, a journey that every seeker must undertake to transcend the illusions of the ego and awaken to the true self. Working with symbols and archetypes is, therefore, a powerful means of self-transformation. Each symbol becomes a tool, each archetype a teacher guiding us deeper into the mystery of our own being. To embrace the power of symbols is to invite the sacred into the mundane, to recognize that every experience, emotion, and desire is part of a larger tapestry woven by the soul's journey through time. When we open ourselves to the wisdom contained within these ancient images and patterns, we begin to see life not as a series of random events but as a purposeful unfolding of archetypal energies. Through this lens, every challenge becomes an opportunity, every encounter a reflection, and every moment a step on the path to self-realization. Chapter 6. The Alchemy of Emotion, Transforming Inner Energies. Emotions are the raw, potent energies that flow through our being, shaping our thoughts, actions, and experiences. In the mystical and alchemical traditions, emotions are not dismissed as mere reactions or disturbances to be subdued but are understood as essential forces that, when mastered, become catalysts for profound transformation. Emotions are the raw materials of the inner alchemist, the base metals to be transmuted into spiritual gold. To engage with our emotions consciously is to undertake the work of internal alchemy, transforming our reactive states into refined expressions of higher wisdom, strength, and compassion. In this way, we reclaim our emotional energies as sacred and purposeful aspects of our journey. The alchemical process of transmuting emotion begins with understanding that each feeling, whether joy or sorrow, anger or love, carries a specific vibrational frequency. These emotions resonate with particular energies within the cosmos and have a profound impact on our energetic field. In the teachings of ancient mystics, emotions are seen as both messengers and mirrors, revealing the hidden aspects of our soul's landscape. Anger, for example, often masks deeper vulnerabilities, while sadness might reveal a longing for connection or healing. By observing our emotions as visitors from within, rather than reactions to the external world, we start to see that they carry profound messages about what needs to be nurtured, released, or transformed within ourselves. This approach to emotions is deeply embedded in the Rosicrucian and Hermetic teachings, where each emotional state is considered a doorway to higher understanding. Anger, when harnessed consciously, becomes a source of strength and clarity, an energy that empowers us to establish boundaries and protect our integrity. Fear, when faced with courage, transforms into wisdom, revealing the areas where we are called to grow and evolve. Joy, when fully embraced, aligns us with the universal flow of life, opening us to gratitude and connection. In the hands of the inner alchemist, emotions are not distractions but tools for awakening, energies that, when transmuted, lift the spirit and strengthen the soul. By embracing this perspective, we learn to meet our emotions with respect and curiosity rather than resistance or denial. The alchemical transformation of emotion involves two key principles: awareness and intention. Awareness allows us to witness our emotions without being consumed by them, to observe the waves of feeling as they arise and pass. This requires a certain detachment, a willingness to stand within the still center of our being even as emotions swirl around us. Intention, on the other hand, is the guiding force that directs our emotional energies toward higher purposes. It is through intention that we choose to transform anger into assertiveness, fear into courage, and sorrow into compassion. The inner alchemist combines these two principles, using awareness to hold the emotion in a space of presence, and intention to guide it into its highest expression. This process is not about repression but about conscious redirection, transforming raw emotion into refined energy that aligns with our highest self. In the esoteric tradition of emotional alchemy, it is taught that each emotion corresponds to a specific element: fire, water, air, or earth, and can be worked with accordingly. Anger, for instance, is associated with the element of fire, which when uncontained can burn and destroy but when harnessed can illuminate and transform. Sorrow aligns with the element of water, symbolizing the cleansing and healing properties of tears, which wash away old wounds and prepare us for renewal. Anxiety or restless thoughts resonate with air, urging us to ground our minds in stillness and clarity. Finally, feelings of stagnation or hopelessness connect to earth, challenging us to dig deeper, plant new seeds, and cultivate resilience. By engaging with these elemental energies, we honor the natural rhythms of our emotions, allowing them to flow and evolve within us rather than resisting or suppressing them. Thus, the alchemy of emotion is a journey of reclaiming our inner energies, seeing them not as forces to be controlled or eliminated but as sacred aspects of our being that hold the keys to our growth and liberation. By consciously engaging with our emotions, we align with the deeper currents of the universe, learning to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Each time we transform an emotion, we elevate our consciousness, becoming more attuned to the divine qualities within us. We move closer to embodying the truth of who we are, powerful beings capable of transmuting any experience into wisdom, love, and inner peace. Chapter 7. Reclaiming Hidden Wisdom Through Intuition. Intuition is the quiet, powerful voice of inner wisdom, a subtle yet profound knowing that transcends logic and speaks directly to the soul. It is a gift from the realm beyond the conscious mind, a connection to the infinite intelligence that we often refer to as the divine or higher self. In esoteric teachings, intuition is regarded as a sacred faculty, akin to a spiritual compass that guides the seeker along their true path. It is through intuition that we access hidden wisdom, insights beyond the reach of ordinary perception, and glimpses of truth that reveal the deeper nature of reality. To cultivate intuition is to open a channel to the universe, to attune oneself to the whispers of the divine, and to reclaim a knowing that is as old as the soul itself. The development of intuition has been revered by mystics and sages throughout the ages, from the Gnostics who sought inner knowing over external doctrine, to the Hermeticists who understood that wisdom is an internal revelation. In these traditions, intuition is seen not merely as a useful tool, but as an essential aspect of spiritual growth. Intuition bypasses the rational mind, reaching into the depths of our being to reveal the truths that the intellect alone cannot fathom. In ancient mystery schools, initiates were taught to cultivate this inner knowing, to trust the images, sensations, and subtle impressions that emerged from within, for these were considered messages from the divine. In reclaiming our intuitive power, we also reclaim the wisdom hidden in the recesses of our soul, aligning ourselves with a truth that is both personal and universal. True intuition is not a sudden burst of clairvoyance but a skill that blossoms through awareness, trust, and practice. In the beginning, intuition may manifest as a gentle nudge, a fleeting sense of clarity, or a vague impression that something is either aligned or misaligned. These moments are easy to overlook or dismiss, particularly in a world that prioritizes logic and external validation over inner knowing. But by honoring these small nudges, by acknowledging and following them, we deepen our connection to this inner wisdom. As we cultivate intuition, we learn to distinguish between genuine insights and fleeting emotions or conditioned responses. We come to recognize the quiet certainty that accompanies true intuition, a certainty that arises not from fear or desire but from a place of profound alignment with the flow of life. Intuition, in the esoteric tradition, is closely tied to the third eye, the energy center associated with insight, clarity, and spiritual vision. This center, when activated, allows us to see beyond the veils of illusion, to perceive reality not only as it appears but as it truly is. The third eye is often referred to as the seat of intuition, for it is here that inner sight and understanding converge. Through practices such as meditation, visualization, and mindfulness, we can strengthen this center, opening ourselves to the flow of intuitive insight. As we refine our inner sight, we begin to see the threads of connection that weave through our lives, the symbols, patterns, and synchronicities that reveal the deeper guidance at play. Our intuition becomes a trusted ally, a wise counselor that guides us toward our highest good. To reclaim intuition is to step into a realm of personal empowerment, to embrace a knowing that is both mysterious and undeniable. As we navigate life with intuition as our guide, we move with greater ease and flow, making choices that resonate with our true nature. In trusting our intuition, we release the need for constant validation from the outside world, knowing that we carry within us all the wisdom we need. Each intuitive insight is a gift, a reminder of our connection to the divine, and a testament to the limitless potential within. We are not merely participants in life's unfolding but co-creators, guided by an intelligence that transcends time and space, a wisdom that is timeless and universal. By reclaiming our intuitive power, we honor the depths of our soul, embracing the path of inner knowing as our truest journey. Chapter 8. Ritual and Rhythm, Aligning with Universal Cycles. Ritual is the language through which we communicate with the universe, a sacred structure that mirrors the cyclical rhythms of creation. In mystical traditions, ritual is not merely a series of actions but a profound expression of alignment with universal forces. Each ritual act serves as a bridge, connecting us with the timeless cycles that govern both nature and the cosmos. From the rising and setting of the sun to the phases of the moon, life is woven into patterns that reflect the order of the universe. By engaging in ritual, we attune ourselves to these rhythms, creating harmony between our inner world and the greater cosmic flow. It is through this conscious alignment that we find balance, grounding, and a sense of purpose that transcends the mundane. Ancient wisdom teaches that our lives are deeply influenced by these universal cycles, with each phase carrying a unique energy that impacts our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The Hermetic principle, as above, so below, reflects this belief, suggesting that the patterns we observe in the heavens are mirrored within our own being. Just as the moon governs the tides and the seasons guide growth and renewal, so too do these forces shape our inner experiences. Recognizing these influences allows us to live in harmony with them, to plan, create, and reflect according to the natural flow of energy. For instance, the new moon has long been associated with beginnings and intention setting, while the full moon represents fulfillment and illumination. By integrating these cycles into our daily lives, we find that we are no longer at odds with time but are instead flowing within its sacred rhythm. In addition to aligning with celestial cycles, Rituals are powerful practices for grounding our intentions and actions. Within mystical traditions, rituals are designed to focus the mind, harmonize the energy centers, and amplify spiritual power. Symbols, words, and actions used in ritual serve as vessels for energy, transforming thought into reality. Whether it is a simple act of lighting a candle or an elaborate ceremonial invocation, each element of ritual holds meaning and purpose. When performed with intention, rituals become a form of alchemy, transmuting our desires into manifest outcomes. They remind us of our creative role in the universe, that we are not merely observers but participants in the dance of creation. Ritual, then, becomes a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, between our desires and their fulfillment. Ritual also acts as a grounding force, anchoring our awareness in the present and establishing a rhythm that sustains us through the challenges of daily life. By dedicating time to ritual, we create a sanctuary where we can pause, reflect, and reconnect with our higher self. This grounding effect is essential for maintaining inner balance, especially in a world that often pulls us in many directions. Rituals serve as a reminder that beneath the surface of constant activity, there is a stillness within us, a space of clarity and calm. In this stillness, we find the presence of the divine, the unchanging essence that is always available to guide and support us. Through the practice of ritual, we become aware of this inner sanctuary, carrying its peace and wisdom into all aspects of our lives. Ultimately, aligning with universal cycles and engaging in ritual offers us a pathway to self-mastery, a means of living in conscious harmony with the forces that shape our existence. By honoring these cycles, we recognize that life itself is a series of phases, each with its own purpose and lesson. We learn to embrace the ebb and flow of experience, to see both joy and challenge as necessary elements of growth. Ritual becomes a tool for transformation, guiding us through these cycles with grace and awareness. As we align with the rhythm of the cosmos, we step into our true power, not as isolated individuals but as co-creators with the universe. In this dance of creation, we find freedom, purpose, and the fulfillment of our highest potential. Chapter 9. The Veil of Maya, Dissolving the Illusion of Separation. In the depths of mystical wisdom, there is a profound truth that speaks to the illusion of separation, often called Maya in ancient traditions. This veil of Maya is a lens through which we see ourselves as isolated beings, distinct from others, from nature, and even from the divine. In this state, the world appears fragmented, a mosaic of disjointed pieces rather than a single, unified tapestry. The notion of Maya is not just an intellectual concept, it is a lived experience that colors every aspect of existence. We perceive reality through this veil, and it shapes how we relate to life, often leading us into a labyrinth of doubt, fear, and isolation. But when we see through this veil, we begin to understand that separation is but an illusion, a distortion that keeps us from recognizing our essential oneness with all that is. From the perspective of Gnostic and Hermetic wisdom, this illusion is the source of suffering, as it disconnects us from the innate unity that binds all of creation. In Gnostic teachings, the belief in separation is seen as the root of human entrapment in the material realm, a prison of perception that obscures the soul's connection to the divine. Hermetic philosophy echoes this, with the principle, all is one, serving as a reminder that the universe operates as a single, interconnected whole. To transcend the veil of Maya is to awaken to the inherent unity within and around us, to realize that we are not merely participants in the cosmos but active expressions of its boundless energy. This awareness is not simply a spiritual insight, it is a doorway to freedom, allowing us to step beyond the limiting beliefs that arise from separation and into a life of profound connection. The journey of seeing through Maya is a process of shifting from an outward focus to an inward gaze, where the truth of oneness resides. When we stop seeking fulfillment outside ourselves, we begin to tap into an internal wellspring of peace, wisdom, and love. In this space, we come to understand that every encounter, every experience, is a reflection of ourselves, and that life itself is a mirror, revealing aspects of our consciousness that await integration. This perspective invites us to view challenges as opportunities for self-discovery and growth, seeing them not as obstacles but as guides. As we dissolve the veil of Maya, we see that love, compassion, and understanding are not acts we perform toward others but states of being that naturally arise when we recognize ourselves in all of creation. Esoteric traditions emphasize practices of meditation, reflection, and inner stillness as essential tools for piercing the illusion of Maya. These practices help quiet the mind, allowing us to transcend the chatter of separation and touch the deeper reality of unity. In the stillness of meditation, we learn to observe thoughts and emotions as passing phenomena, understanding that they do not define our true essence. This detachment from transient mental states frees us from identifying with the ego, that aspect of the self that thrives on division and comparison. When the ego dissolves, even if only momentarily, we experience the world as it truly is, boundless, interconnected, and radiant with divine presence. In this state of pure awareness, the veil of Maya lifts, revealing the unity that underlies all existence. Living beyond the illusion of separation transforms how we engage with the world, bringing a sense of compassion and empathy that is not bound by personal desires or agendas. We no longer see ourselves as separate entities competing for resources, love, or recognition. Instead, we recognize that by uplifting others, we uplift ourselves, and by healing ourselves, we heal the collective. This shift in consciousness is the foundation of true service, where our actions become expressions of unity rather than transactions of self-interest. When we move through life with this awareness, we align with the natural flow of the universe, experiencing a harmony that transcends the limitations of individual identity. In this state, we discover that separation was never real. It was only a shadow cast by the ego, a fleeting veil that dissolves in the light of awareness. Chapter 10. Cultivating Inner Silence, the Gateway to Divine Connection. In the silence that lies beyond thought, beyond the turbulence of emotion, there is a profound space where true wisdom and divine connection reside. This inner silence is more than just the absence of noise. It is the essence of spiritual communion, a sacred stillness that opens the doorway to our higher self and the divine realms. Many ancient mystics revered silence as a sacred teacher, a force that not only quiets the mind but also reveals the eternal truths obscured by the noise of everyday life. To cultivate this silence is to cultivate the soil in which the seeds of enlightenment may grow. In this stillness, we come face to face with the core of our being, uncolored by personal narratives or societal conditioning. Here, the divine speaks, not in words but in the language of pure presence. The practice of inner silence has been a cornerstone in esoteric traditions worldwide, viewed as essential for those who seek to transcend the bounds of ordinary perception. In Hermetic philosophy, silence is seen as the medium through which the mind can align with the universal mind, attuning itself to the cosmic frequencies that animate all existence. The Gnostics believed that the soul, through silence, could journey inward, freeing itself from the distractions of the material world and experiencing the divine directly. Through stillness, they said, one could commune with the inner light, the spark of the divine within each of us. This communion, they believed, could only be achieved when the external world and its constant demands were set aside, allowing the seeker to turn inward and encounter the sacred within. Achieving inner silence, however, requires a gentle persistence, as the mind is inherently restless, accustomed to the perpetual hum of thoughts, worries, and desires. Just as a pond only reflects the sky clearly when its waters are still, so too must the mind become calm to reflect the higher truths. To cultivate this state of inner quiet, many esoteric practices teach the art of mindful observation, observing thoughts as they arise and pass, without attaching to them or engaging with their content. In this space, we learn that thoughts are not solid or absolute. They are passing clouds across the vast sky of consciousness. This detachment gradually dissolves the ego's hold, revealing a profound silence within. As thoughts settle, a deeper awareness emerges, one that observes without judgment and feels no compulsion to act or react. This silent witness is the true self, eternally present and untouched by the flux of the external world. In the sacred silence, we begin to experience the world differently, perceiving a subtle interconnectedness that transcends ordinary sensory perception. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, takes on new meaning, as we realize that the quiet within mirrors the quiet beyond. In this reflective stillness, the boundaries between self and universe dissolve, allowing us to sense the underlying unity of all things. Time seems to slow down, and the present moment expands, revealing its inherent perfection. With practice, this silence becomes a sanctuary, a space we can return to in moments of chaos or stress, anchoring us in a realm that remains unshaken by external events. This connection with inner silence becomes a guiding light, illuminating our path with clarity and grounding us in the wisdom of the higher self. The cultivation of inner silence is a lifelong journey, a practice that deepens as we grow in awareness. It is a space where we meet ourselves anew, not as personalities shaped by life's experiences but as beings of pure potential, always connected to the divine. This silent communion enriches every aspect of our lives, fostering a sense of peace and compassion that radiates outward, touching everyone we encounter. We no longer feel the need to fill the quiet with words or actions. We can rest in the peace of simply being, knowing that in this state of receptive silence, we are attuned to the wisdom of the universe. Here, we find that answers to our deepest questions often arise naturally, not through analysis or striving, but through quiet receptivity. The soul, grounded in silence, becomes a vessel for divine insight, capable of guiding us toward a life of harmony, purpose, and profound inner peace. Chapter 11. The Alchemy of Sacred Geometry, Unlocking Mental Patterns of Divine Order. Sacred geometry, a language of shapes, patterns, and proportions, is woven into the very fabric of the cosmos, connecting the finite to the infinite, the material to the spiritual. This language is not confined to physical structures. It extends into the mind, revealing mental patterns that can unlock realms of consciousness and divine order. The ancient mystics, alchemists, and scholars of esoteric traditions saw sacred geometry as the blueprint of consciousness itself, each shape a symbol holding keys to hidden dimensions. By understanding and aligning with these shapes, we synchronize with the universal patterns they reflect, creating order within ourselves that resonates with the vast design of existence. This chapter delves into the sacred forms, such as the flower of life and Metatron's cube, each a visual reminder of the cosmos's divine architecture, drawing our minds toward alignment with higher realities. The flower of life, with its interlocking circles, is a symbol of interconnectedness that represents creation itself, a visual testament to the unity underlying all diversity. This pattern, found across cultures and eras, signifies the unbroken web of existence, a reminder that each being, each thought, and each action is woven into the whole. In meditating upon this shape or visualizing it within the mind, one enters a state of mental coherence, where disparate parts of consciousness align into unity. The flower of life becomes more than a pattern. It becomes a bridge to an inner awareness of wholeness, guiding us to transcend the illusion of separation. In moments of division, stress, or imbalance, recalling this symbol restores a sense of harmony, drawing us back to the truth that we are an integral part of the vast and interconnected cosmos. Another powerful shape in the sacred geometry canon is Metatron's cube, an intricate formation derived from the flower of life, embodying complex geometric forms within its structure. This shape holds the Platonic solids, forms that ancient philosophers deemed the building blocks of the physical universe. Each of these shapes, from the cube to the dodecahedron, represents a different element and aspect of existence, from earth to spirit. Meditating upon Metatron's cube aligns one's thoughts with the primal energies of creation, bringing the mind into resonance with the underlying patterns of reality. It is a visual tool that not only unlocks specific frequencies in the mind but also harmonizes consciousness with the universal energies of creation, grounding the vast and abstract into the tangible and specific. Through this practice, one taps into the subtle architecture of reality, revealing the divine order that permeates all things. Beyond the well-known symbols lies the golden ratio, a mathematical principle that surfaces in art, nature, and the cosmos, suggesting an inherent balance within all forms. Known as the divine proportion, the golden ratio is found in the spirals of shells, the branching of trees, and even the proportions of the human body. Mystics regard it as a symbol of beauty and perfection, a universal constant that bridges the worlds of matter and spirit. When we bring the golden ratio into our awareness, whether through meditation, visualization, or artistic expression, we create a mental environment that mirrors this natural harmony. This internal alignment allows us to experience balance in our thoughts, emotions, and actions, as if attuning ourselves to a universal rhythm that whispers of eternity and divine beauty. The golden ratio reminds us that just as it shapes the external world, it can shape the inner realms, sculpting a mind attuned to the beauty of balanced thoughts. To build a temple of sacred geometry within one's mind is to create an internal sanctuary where thoughts and emotions align with universal principles. By establishing sacred shapes within this mental temple, the mind becomes a mirror of divine architecture, a space where scattered energies find structure and chaos is transformed into coherence. Each geometric form acts as a guardian of higher knowledge, a keeper of universal truths that guide the soul towards inner order and clarity. When one visualizes these shapes within the mind, they become patterns upon which thoughts are arranged, lifting consciousness beyond mundane concerns and into a realm of spiritual symmetry. Here, thought itself becomes an art form, shaped by principles as eternal as the cosmos, drawing us ever closer to the divine order we seek to embody. In the alchemy of sacred geometry, we discover that every shape, every line, and every proportion is a doorway to deeper understanding. These forms serve as maps of consciousness, tools through which we may glimpse the structure of the soul and its connection to the vast tapestry of existence. As we integrate these shapes into our awareness, they become not just symbols, but living entities within our mental space, constantly aligning us with the divine. The universe, through sacred geometry, offers us a template for mental transformation, guiding us toward patterns that lift the mind beyond limitation and into the realm of boundless order. Through these shapes, we engage with the mysteries of creation, opening ourselves to the limitless potential encoded within the blueprint of consciousness. As we near the conclusion, if you've been enjoying the audiobook, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment below and share your biggest takeaway. Chapter 12. Timelessness and the Eternal Now, Anchoring Consciousness Beyond Time. In the vast tapestry of existence, time is but a single thread, an illusion that gives shape and order to our experiences but one that ultimately veils the eternal nature of reality. Mystics, sages, and alchemists of ancient traditions have alluded to this timelessness, calling it the eternal now, a state of pure presence that lies beyond past regrets and future anxieties. To anchor consciousness in this eternal moment is to transcend the shackles of linear time and access a realm where the soul communes with the infinite. Here, the present moment becomes a portal, a doorway through which the higher self whispers wisdom unbound by the limitations of past and future. In the eternal now, we realize that all potential, all creation, and all divine presence are available within this single, unbroken moment of awareness. Breaking free from linear time is not merely an escape from temporal concerns. It is a liberation from the cycle of mental attachments that keep us bound to old identities and limited perceptions. The concept of timeless consciousness suggests that the soul, in its true essence, is untouched by the events and narratives that form our personal history. The past, while impactful, is merely a collection of impressions and lessons, and the future is a landscape of potentials shaped by present awareness. By anchoring in the present, we strip away layers of memory and anticipation, accessing a state of purity in which the essence of who we truly are can emerge, unaffected by external influences. This perspective, rooted in Gnostic and Hermetic teachings, invites us to transcend the illusion of time, realizing that true spiritual power is wielded only when we are fully present, fully alive in the now. The eternal now is not a place to which one escapes, but rather a state of being in which one deeply and consciously participates. When we are rooted in this moment, we access what mystics have called the divine flow, a timeless current that allows life to unfold with grace and synchronicity. The Rosicrucians speak of aligning with this flow as the act of surrendering the lower self's desire to control, letting the higher self guide the course of one's journey. By accessing this flow, we connect with a profound sense of purpose that is beyond the mind's comprehension, for it originates from realms that the intellect cannot fully grasp. Living within this state of timeless presence allows us to manifest from a place of true power, where every thought, intention, and action is guided by the divine wisdom that pervades the cosmos. Living in the eternal now calls for a dissolution of identity as tied to past achievements, failures, or expectations of the future. As we let go of these attachments, we embrace a freedom that enables us to meet life without the weight of accumulated experiences clouding our perception. In this state, each encounter, each challenge, and each joy is seen with fresh eyes, as if experienced for the first time. We begin to sense that all that truly exists is this moment, a continuous unfolding of creation where life's mysteries reveal themselves layer by layer. This awareness allows us to see beyond appearances and feel the depth of each interaction, each breath, as part of a sacred dance. By dwelling in this boundless now, we reclaim the power of true presence, no longer reacting from conditioned patterns but creating our reality consciously and in harmony with the divine order. The mind, when deeply present, becomes a portal to timelessness, where intuition and inner knowing surpass logic and rationality. In Hermeticism, the eternal now is often seen as the highest state of consciousness one can attain, a place where the higher self reveals the essence of divine truth unfiltered by mental constructs. Here, the mind quiets, and the heart speaks. The soul emerges as the primary voice, guiding one's path with clarity and purpose. As we cultivate this presence, we begin to perceive life as a sacred journey, each moment a manifestation of universal intelligence. The boundaries of self dissolve, and we become attuned to the rhythm of the cosmos, feeling our oneness with all that exists. In this silence beyond time, we access a profound peace, a stillness that allows us to perceive the interconnectedness of all things, opening ourselves to the eternal wisdom that flows ceaselessly within. To live within the eternal now is to embrace life with an open heart, to see every experience as a gift from the universe, crafted to deepen our awareness and expand our consciousness. It is a choice, an ongoing practice of returning to the present when the mind drifts into memories of the past or visions of the future. This presence does not deny time but transcends it, perceiving each moment as both fleeting and eternal, full of divine potential. As we anchor ourselves in this timeless awareness, we find that the past heals naturally, the future unfolds effortlessly, and the journey becomes one of pure exploration and joy. In the eternal now, we are free, limitless, and aligned with the boundless creativity of the universe itself. Conclusion: integrating timeless wisdom into everyday life. As we conclude this journey into the realms of limitless potential, we come full circle, returning to the world of form with the tools and insights that connect us to our true essence. This book has been a path into the unknown, an exploration of ancient wisdom that reminds us of the boundless potential within. Just as the alchemist turns lead into gold, we, too, have transformed our perceptions and opened a door to the vast inner powers that lie dormant within each of us. These insights are not only intellectual revelations but pathways to embodying a richer, more meaningful existence. The wisdom gathered from Rosicrucian, Hermetic, and Gnostic teachings serves as both a guide and a reminder that everything we need to transcend limitations resides within us. Living with the knowledge of our higher potential is, in essence, a call to embody that potential in each moment. As the mystics teach, transformation is not a destination but a journey that we engage with continuously. Each step we take toward embodying our higher self brings us closer to living as creators of our own reality, in alignment with universal truths and principles. By internalizing these teachings, we cultivate a life that reflects inner peace, purpose, and connection. We become aware that the journey is not about attaining external goals or accolades but about revealing and actualizing the depths of our own being. The wisdom gained through this journey is timeless, a map that guides us through life's peaks and valleys, helping us to respond with clarity, compassion, and mastery. The practice of aligning with the higher self and living from the eternal now becomes an invitation to engage with life as a sacred journey, viewing every moment, every interaction, as a mirror reflecting our inner growth. Through this, we learn that true mastery lies in our response to the world, not in controlling it. Challenges, once seen as obstacles, now become opportunities to deepen our awareness, each experience a step closer to embodying our divine potential. By remaining anchored in timeless awareness, we cultivate resilience and grace, qualities that transform the mundane into the extraordinary. Life itself becomes an initiation, a series of opportunities to apply our wisdom, test our faith, and trust the unfolding of a greater plan. Our journey together in these pages is, in many ways, just the beginning. The knowledge and practices shared here are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of the mind and soul. Their growth depends on daily cultivation, nurtured by moments of silence, presence, and intentional thought. To live with limitless potential is to engage actively with these teachings, allowing them to evolve as we evolve. We are not expected to be perfect but to be present, to make each day an expression of our highest understanding. As we do this, we create a ripple effect, influencing not only our own lives but the lives of those around us, creating a legacy of wisdom that reaches far beyond what we can see. In closing, may you carry forth the insights gained from this exploration with a heart open to transformation and a mind aligned with universal wisdom. Remember, the journey to realize your boundless potential is one that transcends time, continuing beyond the chapters of this book into the essence of your everyday life. You are the embodiment of the alchemist's dream, the phoenix rising from the ashes, a soul returning to its divine source with renewed understanding and purpose. May each step forward be a testament to the power within, a celebration of the infinite possibilities that await, and a sacred reminder that you are, and always have been, more than enough. As you walk your path, know that the mysteries will continue to unfold, inviting you ever deeper into the layers of your own divine nature. Trust in your journey, embrace the unknown, and live with the confidence that your potential is as limitless as the universe itself.